Hello, this is Crystal Racing here with the Spanish Grand Prix review and the Crystal score. And of course, as you probably predicted, Lewis Hamilton won the race. And after beating Bottas off the line, frankly, he just drove off into the distance. And even with the safety car, he pulled out a gap again of 3 seconds and won the race very comfortably. 10 out of 10. Valtteri Bottas finished in second place. Apparently had problems with his clutch at the start, and frankly that's where he stayed for the rest of the race. Second place it was for the whole rest of the race. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 if you didn't get that. Then of course third place was Max Verstappen, who did his usual act of pushing his Red Bull as far as he could, and yeah, he deserves 10 out of 10 for that performance as well. And then of course next up it's Sebastian Vettel. Now, as you probably know by now, Ferrari made a few blunders once again because, you know, the thing with Ferrari is that they are playing 4D chess here. I know you sit there and think they're absolutely terrible, but they're playing some absolute 4D chess blinders today. It's got to be 8 out of 10 for Sebastian Vettel because he was the faster Ferrari driver this weekend, even though Leclerc got ahead of him a few times during the race and around the pit stops. But yeah, seriously, that Ferrari actually looks quite slow. And then of course Charles Leclerc, the wonder boy of Formula 1 right now, finished in 5th place and he gets 7 out of 10. Yes, I know he looked fast very early on, but then of course after having to wait for about 10 laps to be told to pull over to let Seb through, let's be frankly honest, he wasn't very good this weekend, so it's 7 out of 10 for me. Then next up it's Pierre Gasly, who did his usual act of qualifying in P6 and finishing P6, so that's 7 out of 10 for Pierre Gasly. And let's be honest, with the way Danny Kvyat drove today, he might be under a bit of pressure from this point onwards. Next up is Kevin Magnussen, who once again drove a brilliant race today, actually. I didn't mean to say once again. He actually was superb. Although, of course, Haas appear as if they finally got on top of their tyre issues. He finished in P7 and he gets 9 out of 10. Very good performance there, Kevin. And despite, of course, I did take 1 point off for the fact that he did shove Grosjean off the road at the safety car restart. A bit naughty there, but hey. But, you know, I'll get on to Grosjean later. Next up is Carlos Sainz, who gets 8 out of 10 due to the fact that, well, he was very high up early on, but, well, actually, I'll give him 9 out of 10, actually, because he did drive a very good race today. And despite the fact he struggled to get past Kevin Magnussen towards the end, he was very much taking that McLaren as far as he could. Next up, it's Danny Kvyat, who gets 9 out of 10, and my own personal pick for driver of the day. Finally, he looks like he's woken up, and he looks like he's readjusted to Formula 1. And after, that very good move on Grosjean near the end, he has finally got 3 points on the board in total now. So, and then of course in the final points paying position, it's Romain Grosjean, who gets 7 out of 10, finally scoring a point this season. But having said that, though, his antics after the safety car were ridiculous. He went off the track 3 or 4 times and he got overtaken by Sainz and Kvyat. I mean, he looked like he was on course for having a 9 out of 10 type of performance, but after all of that, I'm going to give him 7 out of 10. Not really good enough, to be honest. Then, of course, we come to the people who failed to score points. Alex Albon gets 7 out of 10 for me. Pretty standard performance, really. Daniel Ricciardo gets 7 out of 10. Qualified P10, but as I predicted, Renault went backwards, and it has to be said, Ricciardo just had a bang average race. Next up is his teammate Nico Hulkenberg, who finished in P13, got knocked out in Q1 again, and frankly drove a really, really below average race. So that's 6 out of 10 for him. And then, of course, for the first time this season, Kimi Raikkonen fails to score points in P14 after going off onto the gravel on lap 1. Jesus Christ, I'm going to have to give Kimi 6 out of 10 just. But having said that, though, that Alfa Romeo really did not look... Alfa Romeo have not looked quick all weekend, so really, well, I mean, even if he didn't go off on a gravel, he probably would have finished like P11 or P12, but frankly, it makes no difference. He's not getting points. P15 is Sergio Perez, who got 5 out, who for me gets 5 out of 10 for the fact that he got overtaken by Kimi Raikkonen. I mean, you know, everyone goes on about what an underrated driver Sergio Perez is, but today he looked really poor and really slow. And frankly, I mean, that's not excusable considering he is the team leader at Racing Point and he is supposed to be going out there scoring points, but his performance was just abysmal. And he got overtaken by Kimi, who, frankly, I mean, has been doing miracles in that god-awful Alfa this season. And then, of course, P16 is Antonio Giovinazzi, 5 out of 10 for his performance today. And, you know, still not a single point on the board. And he looks like he's not, well, he looks about as far as from getting a point at all this season. And frankly, I mean, at this point, I think it's beginning to become a bit clear that I really do not think he's going to be around in F1 next season. He's just not good enough. He's just absolutely bang average. He's not even bang average. He's just awful at this point. George Russell finished P17 for Williams. He'll get 8 out of 10 for his performance today. I don't know what he did, to be honest, because he's driving a Williams, so I'm not even going to bother commenting. And then, of course, Robert Kubica, P18, and finished last once again. He gets 5 out of 10. And, well, let's be honest, I mean, Robert Kubica qualified 1.2 seconds slower than Russell yesterday. So, really, frankly, I mean, what the hell is he doing in that car anymore? Although, I will say one thing for George Russell. He did qualify 4 tenths slower than Giovinazzi yesterday in qualifying. And he was only 6 tenths slower than Hulkenberg and Stroll in Q1. That's a very good effort. And you know what it is about George Russell? I think George Russell might have an outside chance of getting a Mercedes seat alongside Lewis Hamilton for 2020. I'm not joking there, folks. I'm going to do a driver market video very soon. And then, of course, we get to the retirees. Lance Stroll, the reject of the day. What was he doing trying to hold his car around the outside of turn 2? What type of moron tries to do that? Daddy's racing boy is the type who'll try and do that sort of shite. My goodness me. Lando Norris had the inside line very clearly. Lando Norris pulled off a very good move around the outside of turn 1, held his line into turn 2, only for, of course, bloody Lance Stroll to clam into him. Absolute waste of a seat. 3 out of 10 for Lance Stroll. Get out of Formula 1. But yes, I know, his dad owns the team, so of course he's going to be in Formula 1 for many years to come. Oh dear. And then, of course, last but not least, Lando Norris gets 6 out of 10. He had, okay, yes, I know Carlos Sainz has outpaced him all weekend, but at least he's been looking, you know, at least he put in a respectable performance and looked like he could get up the field until he got taken out by Canadian daddy rich boy, you know what his name is. So, looking at the championship table, it is very embarrassing for Ferrari and Renault right now. What are they doing? I mean, Ferrari have only just about managed to score just over half the points Mercedes have done this season, and Renault are down in 8th place. Only only just ahead of Toro Rosso. That is embarrassing. So thank you for watching. This is Crystal Racing, and I'll see you again next time.